Okay, on April the 9th, we had a email vote for forwarding, amending the ordinance regarding banners to the town planning board. Counselor, you're going to present this item and how it came about.
Mr. Mayor, I want to start with a couple of mea culpas for the board. I apologize. When we had the discussion about the banner, the suggestions from the banner committee, it did not dawn on me that they were, if we're going to put that in the ordinance, that it really is a land use ordinance, and that requires a public hearing to be announced at the next meeting, and also for it to be forwarded to the planning board first for their thoughts. So that was the purpose of the poll that forwarded it to the planning board. We try to avoid polling at all, if at all possible. Sometimes it's necessary just to keep things moving, and if it's no debate and no discussion, then it's going to go to just another public entity anyway for their open meeting debate, which this did. I don't see much harm in it, but we do try to avoid polling if we can. So that's the first thing I would ask you to do, is to ratify that vote for the planning board.
And there was no opposition to that, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Okay. So the next item then would be you're going to present something about the banner policy.
So mea culpa number 2.
Okay.
We missed the advertising deadline that we had to get it into the paper to have that hearing to approve the ordinance on banners tonight. And so again, I apologize for that. I also recognizing, and I know, Mr. Mayor, you were very clear in the last meeting that this is not something that needs to be up for a whole lot more discussion. We need there seems to be consensus that we're going to allow banners in these sort of suggested regulations. So let's have done with it. And in the name of moving on with that, this will be pending getting this into an ordinance, but I have taken what was proposed language of the ordinance and put it into a policy, so that if you approve the policy tonight, these banners will be permitted under that policy, and that is before you. I understand there are a couple of things that I need your feedback on that we're going to have to come up at some point anyway, whether it is in the context of the ordinance or this policy. One being, I have put in there liability insurance that, number one, the town does not accept that it has any liability for the process of hanging a banner and anything that might be entailed therewith. That portion of the policy, it's section G, section 2G, also says that the applicant, if they have special events insurance, will get the town a copy of it. Now there are a couple options there, and you could go all the way to whoever's having this special event and hanging this banner will get special events coverage for it. And you could say, and we'll make the town, not only give the town a copy of the proof of the certificate of coverage, but also make you a name of secondary insured, a named insured. We've had a lot of discussion with that, and I don't know if Summer wanted to weigh in on that. We kind of jumped through a lot of hoops about this with the TDA and whether or not you really want an ironclad policy, thou shalt have special events insurance. I don't think it's all that terribly hard to get or expensive, but I don't know whether you feel like you want to say thou shalt get insured.
I have a quick question. The TDA authority, basically the main thing is to try to get people to come into Franklin. What would be, or could the TDA back a group type of policy that would apply to anything, any banners that the town, any events that the town would approve? We're not just going to have somebody come and hang a banner because they have to come. I mean, we have to have a say-so because of public safety.
I think I follow you. If the question is, could the town get coverage for anybody to come hang them? I don't know the answer.
Or the
That's
TDA.
something
I
we
don't
don't
know.
know.
he's talking about.
I don't know.
No, we're not talking town, we're talking TDA, right?
I'm talking about, I'm just wondering if that would be a proper use of some TDA funds. I don't know what such a policy would cost. I
We
wouldn't
have
think
to
that.
ask. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that would have to be under discussion at the TDA meeting instead of.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if we could not bring it up before the TDA as a proper use of, I know that back when we had the air show, my lord, that's really fraught with liability.
Yeah.
But it was only, I think, $1,200-$1,400, so.
I'm imagining, Mr. Mayor, that an insurance company would say, without any idea who's doing it, how they're doing it, what they're doing, we're not going to take on a sort of a blind,
Okay,
take a chance on it.
well, we can talk about it later.
And it is something I think we can look into. And
I'm just thinking of where we might get some funding to help out these events. a little bit, is all
I'm
I'm
just thinking
thinking.
that some insurance is gonna have to be there, because if something were to happen to the banner in particular, then I know we're gonna want them to do some indemnifications for the town of Franklin and sign off on some things, but, we all know that sometimes the indemnifications don't carry a lot of weight, and there needs to be something behind those indemnifications. So at least as far as a particular insurance, I think we're gonna have to require some. If not an events insurance policy, at least some type of liability for the banner itself and for the installation and removal and whatever else that transpires for the banner.
The event itself has to have an insurance policy.
I think that
Is
could
that
be
correct?
separate.
the TDA, I'm trying to remember, did we? I think the TDA adopted
That's what
a
I was
policy
thinking.
that if somebody's.
Anybody makes a report.
Well,
All events
if
have
they-
to be through the TDA. Not all events
Well, I
have to
mean,
be.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody's
doing one of these banners.
Finishing cover under that.
Right. Like he asked, if they already have event insurance, shouldn't the sign be covered under their event insurance?
That's what I would think.
I just really think, I'm pretty adamant to the fact that there needs to be some type of liability insurance involved in that the town is named on, so we have some
Yeah.
level of protection.
Banner falls and goes across the windshield and they run over and kill someone.
And in those, there are cases.
There's cases and there's already cases that that's happened.
Well, I'm kind of worried now about what Stephen Hawkins said the other day, that civilization we know it's going to be gone in 1,000 years. I've been worried about that too. So, we'll hash that out. Is that agreeable with the board that everybody involved just get together and hash this out, probably on a per event basis? Would that work, you think? What do you think, John?
Just being set
I
up.
thought it was better for the.
No, I know that. We're talking about insurance right now.
When I'm sure, the consensus I thought, and I'm not the mayor, but the consensus I was gathering was we ought to have this policy say something along the lines of the applicant shall secure special events insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
shall
sounds
have the
good to me.
name.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounds good.
Is that?
Yeah,
That's pretty standard board.
Yeah, that's standard.
yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Okay.
But that each event is a separate event, yes. Exactly.
Oh, and it will have to be, I think, once this policy is in place, and especially once it's under where it really belongs, which is in the sign ordinance, and we'll take care of that in June. But once this is in place, then Justin, as the sign administrator, will be able to follow this policy to say, so there won't have to be a whole lot of hashing out. He will have a policy that says, the town board says, get events insurance and get the town covered as a.
Yeah.
That way it's adjusted and we don't have to come back and have a meeting.
That's
Right. Let's just move on with it. Everybody okay?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. All right, that's the last item that we
Mr. Mayor,
have. Yes.
I have a couple other things.
All right. Getting to that.
I think that there was some discussion when the committee brought forward their recommendation. It's about in section 2C, and what I've drafted here for you, that The way I have drafted it is they may display promotions for nonprofit and community events which may include fundraising activities and will promote Franklin. And that the names of businesses and corporate entities may be included on banners, but banners shall not be used to promote any particular business or businesses. And that is to the heart of what the sign ordinance is about. The sign ordinance is really about keeping to a reasonable minimum the amount of commercial speech that is out there. And then we don't get into regulating a whole lot of other kinds of speech through it.
Well, that's correct, but I think that the whole purpose of banners are special events.
Right.
No politicking, no religion, none of that. It's particular special events that are put on like volunteers with the community of the town. I don't think there was any indication, ever, any indication that any business is going to be on that.
Well, I think that, if businesses sponsor an event, they should be allowed to put their name on there. However, I think we need to, that being said, I think that 80% of what the content should be for events and no more than 20% of that sign be used for a business sponsor. So,
Mr. Curtis, I think you're opening a can of worms on that. I'll just be honest with you. I think just to say no commercial meaning on a banner across the town street. Period.
And then they can always advertise it elsewhere.
That's exactly
You know,
right, yeah.
In the paper, sponsored by, whatever.
I just think if we
I know
have,
what you're saying.
if we have one business, and I can only think of one event right now that was actually sponsored by a business. But then you've got the Appalachian Trail Days that the businesses are heavily involved in, but they don't want any advertising on the banner. They want the event advertised, and only the event. So I don't know. What do y'all think?
that's fine with me.
Okay.
I certainly don't have any objection to that. I mean, I was going to be a little more lenient on that. So if the mayor would like to do that, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I work for this board. Just giving my opinion, which is not worth a whole lot, but. Okay, so where do we stand?
You tell me, I'm trying to gather what the consensus was.
All right, what is the
I
consensus
think
of the
if we're
board?
advertising the event only, no
Yes.
sponsors on it.
There you go.
Are you going to strike out then the names of the businesses and corporate entities may be included on special event banners?
Well,
If you have a special event, you have the town of Franklin's name on it.
Yeah, the town of Franklin's
Include that.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, we can advertise ourselves anytime we want.
Absolutely.
We're not.
Not, yeah, we're not.
We're non-profit. Boy, isn't that the
It's my
truth?
understanding that there would never be, this wouldn't be used for a single business sponsoring something, but possibly for a group of businesses. So you wouldn't want to have 6 business names on the banner.
No,
Isn't that what Larry said?
yeah,
Isn't that
that's what he was saying, yeah, he was
Yeah.
kind of like,
That would just be a group of businesses.
But they're for profit, so we'd have to be non-profits.
And so again, the board is telling me what? No corporate names
No names
at all.
and insurance.
Nonprofit names.
Nonprofit names,
Your
depending on,
corporate-
No business name.
no
business
business.
For-profit business.
No business for profit name.
If anybody's going to make anything, it's going to be the event and not the business, if that's agreeable. Boy, these things get weighty.
Well, you don't want too much stuff on there anyway. That's right. And if people are just driving by, they can't read them all.
The first banner, the banner committee and I want, well, I'm going to tell you what it's going to have on it. All it's going to say is banner. Okay, does that put that to rest?
It will if I can get a motion to.
Okay. All right.
With the provision that we require
Okay.
insurance naming the town as additional insured. And
You going to make the motion?
Choice is.
Okay.
I moved and I seconded it.
You second the motion. What is the motion?
Patty did it, Patty did it.
Okay, did
We
you?
add the insurance, we do the
Okay.
other, and keep
To
going.
approve the policy with the addition that the special events insurance will be obtained and no for-profit business names on the banner.
Okay.
And this will give them enough time to, if they want to go ahead and put in an application for a banner, we're going to allow that to happen.
Yes.
We're not going to hold anything up because of this.
Right, let's get it. Yeah. Let's
Okay,
get
all
the
in
banners
favor
going.
of Patty's motion?
Wherever she said yes.
All opposed? Thanks, guys. That, unless, John, you got anything else?
I do have
Okay,
one more
I figured as much,
addition,
okay.
is that now, since the ordinance that will regulate banners in the fashion we've just discussed has been thoroughly vetted by you and the planning board, we need a motion to set a public hearing on June 1st, 2015 at 7:15 for consideration of that amendment to the sign ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Oh, that was great.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yes.